sogno all'orizzonte mancano le parole. Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me, su le finestre mostra tutto il mio cuore che è acceso. Chiudi dentro me la luce che ho incontrato per strada. Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai veduto e vissuto con te. Adesso sì li vivrò con te. Partirò su navi per mari che io lo so, l'uomo non esistono più. It's time to say goodbye.
Quando sei lontana sogno all'orizzonte e manca le parole. E io sì lo so che sei con me, con me. Tu mia luna, tu sei qui con me. Mio sole, tu sei qui con me, con me, con me, con me. Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai veduto e vissuto con te. Adesso sì li vivrò con te. Partirò su navi per mari che io lo so, non esistono più. Con te io li rivivrò, con te partirò su navi per mari che io lo so, non esistono più. Con te io li rivivrò, con te partirò.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on.
and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your
nel
light
cuore resterà,
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go out each night,
l'eterna stella sei. Nella mia preghiera
let this be our prayer.
quanta fede c'è.
When shadows fill our day,
Lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe.
sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno dia una mano al suo vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dà
We ask that life be
il
kind
desiderio che
and watch us from above.
ognuno trovi amore
We hope it's all we'll find.
intorno e dentro sé.
Another soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child,
Just like every child, need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe.
e la fede che hai acceso in noi, sento che ci
Please don't stop the music. 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 It's getting late. I'm making my way over to my favorite place. I gotta get my body moving, shake the stress away. I wasn't looking for nobody when you look my way. Possible candidate, yeah. Who knew that you'd be up in here looking like you do? You make us staying over here impossible. Baby, I'ma say your aura is incredible. If you don't have to go, don't got the music, 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 music.
We got it together, didn't we? We've definitely got our thing together, don't we, baby? Isn't that nice? I mean, really, when you really sit and think about it, isn't it really, really nice? I can easily feel myself slipping more and more waves. That super world of my own. Nobody but you and me. We've got it together, baby.
what's on in anybody's land. Hey, 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 hey. Macho, macho, macho man, yeah. I got to be a macho. I got to be a macho, 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 yeah. I got to be a macho. Bring the head on my chest, macho, yeah. Macho man. Say, dig my big, thick mustache. All right, a macho. I got to be a macho, 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 macho man. I got to be a macho. Big broad shoulders, yeah. Macho man. Dig my muscle. I got to be a macho man. Talking about a macho, macho man. Macho man. I got to be a macho. Hey. Macho, macho man. I got to be a macho. I got to be a macho. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Hello, Arizona. We love being in Arizona. We've been here all day and all night. It is great to be in the great state of Arizona with thousands of hardworking and beautiful American patriots. Thank you very much. In just 18 days, the people of Arizona are going to send Martha McSally, a great woman. I will tell you, I know her well. She's a great woman. To the United States Senate to protect your jobs, defend your borders, and continue making America great again. And remember, early voting in Arizona is underway right now. So if anybody would like to leave and go out and vote, I don't mind at all. I see all those beautiful red hats and some white ones, right? And some white ones. The white ones are very nice. They're getting swamped by the red. Make America great again, you know that. But what's the new name? Right? What's the new? Go ahead. In about, what do you think, another 12 months? We could almost do it sooner, right? What does it say? Keep America great. Keep America great. Right? We got to get used to that, because there's something about that, make America great again. It just worked. But keep America great is very important, because it's true. Because everything we do, they can destroy very quickly if the wrong people get into office. And this is an incredible time for our nation. The unemployment rate just fell to the lowest level in over 50 years. More Americans are working today than at any point in the history of our country. Think of it. That's a big number. That's a big stat. Think of that. Today, more Americans, think of that. More Americans are working than ever in the history of our country. Today, right now. Nice. Nice. And here in Arizona, manufacturing jobs are surging at the fastest rate in more than 2 decades. Remember, you weren't going to have any manufacturing jobs anymore, right? I said, you mean we're not going to make things anymore? 600,000 new manufacturing jobs. We're taking care of our veterans, and our military will soon be more powerful than it has ever been before. Under Republican leadership, America is booming, America is thriving, and America is winning because we are finally putting America first. Just last week, we achieved another historic victory for the American people. In a beautiful ceremony at the White House, we proudly swore in the newest member of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. They treated him badly. They treated him badly. What the radical Democrats did to Justice Kavanaugh and his wonderful family is a national disgrace. And don't forget it on November 6th. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. The Democrats have become an angry, unhinged mob determined to get power by any means necessary. Your vote in this election will decide which party controls Congress. And I will tell you, they're all talking about Arizona, and they're talking about Martha McSally. They're all talking about Arizona. The choice for every American could not be more clear than it is right now. Democrats produce mobs, Republicans produce jobs. So this November, when you're voting, vote for the jobs, not for the mobs. Just do it. Just do it. You know, it's all very fragile. It can end very quickly. Even Supreme Court, we picked 2, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. 2. Many presidents never pick any. They never get that great opportunity. They say it's the most important decision you can make. I would say War and Peace is the most, but I would say it's second. But it's a great honor to have picked 2 great people. And you know what? We can pick others before it's over and before even the first term, although we'll have 8 years instead of 4 years, based on everything I see. Based on the competition that we see, you know, we can no longer say Pocahontas because she has no Indian blood. We can no longer call her Pocahontas. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll have to come up with another name for her. Elizabeth Warren, a very boring name. We're going to have to come up with another name. I can't use the word Pocahontas anymore. There's no Indian blood. I always said, I have more Indian blood than she has, and I have none. I have none. But it's more than she has. I don't know. We'll have to come up with another name. If Nancy Pelosi or crying Chuck Schumer and the radical Democrats take control of Congress on November 6th, they will try to plunge our country into a nightmare of gridlock, poverty, and chaos. You know that. It's going to be a mess. Democrats want to raise your taxes, impose socialism on our country, turn us into a Venezuela, turn us into another Venezuela, take away your health care, destroy your Second Amendment, and Democrats want to throw your borders wide open to deadly drugs and ruthless gangs. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Come on in, everybody. We are. The wall is under construction. We're building the wall. 1.6 billion, another 1.6 billion, another 1.6 billion. I want to build it all at one time. We can do it in 1 year. And you see what's happening. Right now, as you know, Mexico is on their southern border, And they're fighting some bad people in that group. You know, you see the people come up and you listen to the fake news back there and you think they're all wonderful people, right? No, you think, I'm serious. You think they're all wonderful people. You got some bad people in those groups. You got some tough people in those groups. And I'll tell you what, this country doesn't want them, okay? We don't want them. Democrats have become the party of crime. It will be the election of Kavanaugh, the caravan, law and order, tax cuts. We forget about tax cuts all the time. And common sense. But we forget about tax cuts. We gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And I tell friends of mine that are running for office, we got to stop bringing up tax cuts. It's almost like, we just did it. And we also got rid of the individual mandate, the most unpopular thing, where you have the privilege of paying a fortune for having a second privilege of getting bad health care also for a fortune. No, that's no good. We got rid of the individual mandate. You know another thing we did for, like a lot of people in Arizona, small businesses, farmers, you don't have a state tax. No more estate tax. So if you love your children, which is a question, you may not like them, in which case don't listen to them. If you don't like them, don't leave them the farm. But if you love them, you'll love Trump because you don't have to pay a state tax, okay? That's a big thing. There's so many things we don't have time to talk about them. We got a lot for you. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. The Democrat Party has become too extreme and too dangerous to be trusted with power. If you want to drain the swamp, you must defeat the Democrats. You have to do it. So voting has already begun in Arizona. Many of you already have your ballots. Return them today. Return them tomorrow. Go ahead. Get them in. Vote early. It's all right. But you have to vote on November 6th. And by the way, the early voting shows that Martha is pretty much ahead. We're way ahead of where we're going. It's early voting. Don't get complacent. Remember this. For whatever reason, the party that wins the presidency almost always loses in the midterm. I don't know what that's all about. No, they get complacent. Not here, right? So here's the difference we have. We probably have the greatest economy in the history of our country. So why would we lose? And just don't be complacent, okay? Don't be. And then what happens, you go on, and what happens often, so they lose the midterm, and then they go on to crush in 2020, in the next presidential. I want to win this, and then I win that. Tonight, we're thrilled to be joined by several really terrific Arizona Republicans, including Representatives Debbie Lesko. Debbie, where's Debbie? Where is she? Good, Debbie. Did a good job. Debbie was very tough. She did a good job. Thank you, Debbie. Great job, Debbie. a man who has been in there and he has been fighting for me day in and day out. He's a winner. He loves his state. He loves his country. I watched him this morning. I heard he was on. So I wanted to turn on and I wanted to watch Congressman Andy Biggs, and he did a great job. Thank you, Andy. Great job. And a man that we all love, and he's solid, and he helped us with health care, and he helped us with every single aspect of what we're doing, tax cuts, borders. He's tough, he's smart, and you love him, Dave Schweikert. Dave. Thank you, Dave. Great job. We're also honored to be joined by your fantastic governor and friend of mine, Doug Ducey. And don't worry about it, Doug. That's that's not. It is, too. That's pretty impressive when you get. Doug is fantastic. And get out and vote for Doug, by the way. Get out and vote. He's great. He's doing a great job. He loves the state, loves the country. Finally, it is my great honor to introduce a true American patriot, a person I've gotten to know very well over the last 2 years. She was always there for us, and she's tough, and she's smart, and she's brave, and she can fly an airplane better than anybody. Your next United States Senator from Arizona, Martha McSally. Come up, Martha.
Thank you so much, President Trump. Thank you for coming to Arizona. And I just wanted to let you know, we are not crazy here. And unlike what my opponent says, we are not a meth lab of democracy. Is that ridiculous? Arizona is an amazing state, and I'm really, really glad you're here. I'm so grateful for your support. Look, America is back, and Arizona is back, thanks to the leadership of President Trump and Doug Ducey and the Republican Senate and House. We see so much optimism. We have so many job opportunities. We are rebuilding our military and supporting our troops. And we have Justice Brett Kavanaugh on the bench. But there is so much more to do, and there are so high stakes in this election. And we are down to the wire to make sure that we keep and grow the Senate majority. Think about it, the contrast could not be more clear. I said I would vote for Kavanaugh. Sinema said she would vote no. Right? On national security, I advocated and we fought and kept the A-10 Warthog. And Sinema advocated to shut down Luke Air Force Base. Boo! We just were visiting at Luke Air Force Base so you could see what a treasure that is. I was shooting at the Taliban, and Sinema says it's okay for an American to join the Taliban. What the hell? Right? And I was wearing a flight suit, and she was wearing a pink tutu. And on economic security, you know, I voted for your tax cuts, and Sinema voted no. And most importantly for us, on border security, President Trump, it has been an honor to be leading in the House to make sure we build the wall. Build the wall. Exactly. We have to do it. We got to close these crazy loopholes. And my legislation, working with you, closes these loopholes. We have so much more to do. My opponent and her allies, Chuck Schumer, they are so dangerous on these issues. Sinema voted to protect sanctuary cities. Yeah. And look, this is personal. In the audience tonight is Mary Ann Mendoza. And her son, Brian, a Mesa sergeant in the Mesa Police Department, was killed by a man who didn't belong being here and should have been gone. And this is personal for Mary Ann. This is personal for us in Arizona. We have to crack down on sanctuary cities, MS-13 gangs, build the wall, and secure the border. So there's so much at stake. There's so much at stake. And so I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for your vote. God bless you all. God bless Arizona. God bless America. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Martha's a veteran, a great fighter, a warrior, and the first female fighter pilot to fly combat missions in American history. Think of that. She's the first. And I spoke to some of the pilots and fighters just now. We just left. We had an incredible display of talent. Boeing was there, and Raytheon was there, and they were all there. Everybody was there. And the ones that know Martha, they said she could fly a plane like nobody. I like that. That's good. That's good. They were very impressed. They were very impressed. You deserve a senator who truly loves your state and loves to fight for this state and who will never let you down. And that leader is indeed Martha McSally. And Martha's opponent is a far-left extremist named Kyrsten Sinema. And you know, she is. She's being protected by the fake news back there. She's being... Boy, that's a lot. Look at all the people. It's like the Academy Awards. Look at this. That's a lot of stuff. You think this happens to the average president? No way. And every single time, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. You can turn the cameras back on. I won't say anything bad, I promise. Now, when they think I'm ready to say something bad, all those red lights go off. You know, just... Now, I turn them. I'm going to leave you alone. After 9/11, Martha McSally heroically led airstrikes against radical Islamic terrorists. Very successful. But while Martha was bravely fighting the Taliban, Kyrsten Sinema said she had no problems with Americans defecting from our country to join the Taliban. How does that happen? Seriously, how does that happen in Arizona? Explain that one to me. Sinema made these comments even as courageous American service members were giving their lives in the fight against enemy Taliban forces. Kyrsten Sinema also embraced a left-wing radical who was convicted of providing material support to terrorists. This is what you want as your senator? I don't think so. I don't think so. And as you know, and as you just heard, Kyrsten Sinema voted strongly against tax cuts. Now, not because she believes that, but because Nancy Pelosi told her to do it. That's all it is. Nancy Pelosi doesn't believe it. And Maxine Waters told her to do it, too. It's true. She doesn't believe that, but they told her to do it. She'll do whatever they tell her. She voted for Obama's amnesty, and she voted against the border wall. She wants to let poisonous drugs pour into your communities, and that's where they're coming, right through. Sinema voted to support deadly sanctuary cities, and Sinema joined the shameful Democrat mob attacking the great Justice Brett Kavanaugh. He will be great. He'll be a great Supreme Court justice. And a vote for Kirsten Sinema is a wasted vote, but more importantly, it's a dangerous vote because it's for Schumer, Chuck, for Pelosi, and for Maxine Waters. If you don't want radical Democratic mob to control Congress, vote today. Get out and vote before this. You don't have to wait. Vote for Martha McSally. It'll be one of the best votes you've ever cast. It will be the second greatest vote you ever cast. The first greatest vote was for me. Me. Now, when you cast the vote for me, you cast the vote for you, too. It's us. Because we have, and they never question me on this, I say it all the time, we have the greatest movement in the history of our country. Never happened. It's never happened before. And we're doing great. The greatest president, thank you. I like him. But look, who said that? Thank you, man. Thank you. We're working hard. We're working hard. Democrats in Congress have already signed up for a socialist takeover of health care that would eliminate the private health insurance of 3.4 million Arizona residents. You know about that. And it's going to destroy our country, and your taxes will be tripled. The Democrat plan would destroy Medicare and terminate Medicare Advantage for over 500,000 Arizona seniors who depend on it. Democrats' plan to kill Medicare Advantage is especially unfair to Hispanic Americans, of which we have a couple in the room, right? Couple. We're doing very well with Hispanic Americans. Doing very well. Because you know what? They want safety at the border. They want great jobs. Remember the last election? Well, he won't do too well with the Hispanic vote. Did we do well or what? They're still trying to figure it out. And remember they said, oh, but he won't do well with women. Did we do well with women? We did well with women. They haven't figured it out yet, but they're trying. Are you trying? Do you continue, or do you just want to play this game? Do you want to keep playing this game? 1 out of every 2 Hispanic seniors is enrolled in Medicare Advantage, which they're going to destroy. Republicans want to protect Medicare for our great seniors who have earned it and they paid for it. And Republicans will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. They're trying to put a false narrative out there. And if there is a Republican out there that doesn't, let me know. Believe me, him or her, we'll talk him into it. We're going to protect pre-existing conditions. Just put it down and bank. Remember during the debates, everyone wanted to readjust your Social Security. Let's add some years on. Who was the one person that said, I'm not touching entitlements? Thank you. Thank you. And remember I said, right? And I haven't. There's been a lot of presidents that made big promises. All of a sudden, their career is over. You know a few of them. You've watched it. And it's not a pretty sight when it happens. It's not pretty at all. Not going to happen to me. But I was on stage during all those debates, which we won, by the way, every single one of them. But I was on stage with all those debates, first with some really fine people, the Republicans, and then with a very dishonest person, crooked Hillary Clinton. And during that time, it is amazing how you can delete 33,000 emails after getting a subpoena from the United States Congress, and our Justice Department doesn't do anything about it. It is pretty amazing. Our Justice Department, headed by many people from the Obama administration. Can't win them all, but it'll all work out, folks. It'll all work out. Just like you look at what we've done, you look at every department, you look at what's going on, Secretary of State, you look at EPA, you look at everyone, we are doing so well, we are really hitting. The new platform of the Democrat Party is radical socialism and open borders. As we speak, the Democrat Party is openly inviting millions of illegal aliens to break our laws, violate our borders, and overwhelm our nation. Other than that, the Democrats are doing a great job, right? Not too good. You know what? They're lousy politicians. They have horrible policy. They do one thing well. They stick together. They really do. They stick together better than the Republicans. The one thing they do, and they don't want us to have the victory of a wall, even though we got much more money for our military, many, many times more. We got money, but they don't want us to have the wall, even though they know it's the right thing. They will fight to the death because they don't want us to have the wall, but we've started the wall anyway, and we're going to get that done. We're going to get it done. And now it's as a point, when you look, it's really at a point, when you look at what's pouring over in these caravans, when they start saying we don't want to change those immigration laws that are so bad, catch and release, we don't want to change visa lottery. Think of visa lottery. They pick names out of a hat, visa lottery. Think about it. Do you think that this country, or whichever country it is, are they going to put their finest in there? I don't think so. I don't think so. Chain migration, you come over and then we had a guy on the West Side Highway. He goes down the highway. He's going 60, 70 miles an hour. Radical Islam, terrible. Makes a right turn into a park, kills 9 people, badly injures that nobody ever talks about. People that are running along the beautiful Hudson River because they want to stay in shape, they end up going home 6 months later with no legs, with no arms, because of people like this, sick people. These are sick people. And this guy had 22 people. He brought in his mother, his father, his brother, his sisters, his aunts, his uncles, because of Democrats' policy. That's called chain migration. It's a chain. Sounds so good, like right out of school. Sounds so beautiful. The chain. Everyone comes together. Nope. We're ending it, folks. And the Democrats don't want to do it, but we're ending it, folks. And catch and release. How about that? That's my favorite. Catch. You catch a damn killer. You catch a bad hombre. You catch a bad one. You take the name, and we're supposed to bring them to court. But we have hundreds of thousands of people, and it's all my fault. You know why? Because you, all together, we've made this country so strong economically, so good, jobs, everything, that everybody wants to come in. So it's my fault. But you know what? We're not letting them in. We only are going to let people in based on merit. We need people to come in based on merit. So you have catch and release. They put 1 foot. They don't need 2. 1 foot. We have the greatest people. ICE, Border Patrol, law enforcement. And the law doesn't allow us to throw them the hell out. We have to take them, we have to write them up, and then we say, come back in 3 years for a court case. In the meantime, they're released into our society. And you know what the percentage of people that come back for the case? 3%. No, you're wrong. He said 0. You were slightly off. 3%. 3% show up 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later. It's a disgrace. And the Democrats do it. And we don't have enough votes. We don't have enough Republicans to override their negative vote because they do stick together. And remember this, they're only sticking together because they want to make sure that I and we don't get what they know our country needs. But I think they may be forced politically to do it, because I got to tell you, anybody that votes for a Democrat now is crazy. When you look at what's coming up, crazy. Got to be crazy. The Democrats don't care about what their extremist immigration agenda will do to your communities, your hospitals. How about your hospitals? They're being overrun. Your schools. California, they want to give you free education, free health care, open borders. I mean, we're going to have 10 million people move to California. This is the craziest thing. So here's what we do. Let's get these people out of there. There's something wrong. They're cuckoo. The Democrats don't care that a flood of illegal immigration is going to totally bankrupt our country, because all the Democrats want is power. And don't forget, everybody that comes across the border, for the most part, they're going to vote Democrat. They're not voting Republican. They're going to vote Democrat. So nobody said they're stupid, but it's bad for our country. But they're going to vote Democrat. No matter what we do, they will be voting Democrat, and they understand that. That's why Democrats support programs like catch and release. That's why Democrats want to give illegal aliens free welfare, free health care, and free education. Give them a driver's license. Give them a driver's license. Next thing you know, they'll want to buy them a car. Then they'll say the car's not good enough. How about a Rolls Royce? We want a Rolls Royce. Made not in America, so therefore I hope that's not what we do. That's why Democrats want to give illegal immigrants the right to vote. How about in California, where illegal immigrants took over the town council, and now the town council is run by illegal immigrants in a town? I mean, is this even believable? You tell this stuff. It is sick. That's why Democrats want to abolish ICE, the most brave people. These people, I wouldn't want their job. Nobody up here wants their job, I can tell by looking. They go into the toughest situations. We call them nests. Nests are very bad people. They don't like using guns. They'd much rather use knives because it's much more painful and slower. These are really bad people. And ICE goes in there, and it's like a day at the office. No problem. And they free towns, like in Long Island. They liberate towns. It's like liberation from a war. They liberate towns. And the Democrats think that ICE isn't nice. We have to get rid of ICE. We cherish ICE, and we cherish Border Patrol, and we cherish our law enforcement. The casualties in the Democrats' open borders crusade are innocent American families and lives. And we have some of these incredible people with us tonight. Democrat immigration policies allow poisonous drugs, vicious gang members, and MS-13 killers to pour into our country. And we've done a great job. We have removed thousands of MS-13. Get them the hell out. Thousands. Thousands and thousands. And Democrat sanctuary cities release dangerous predators out of a jail and straight into your communities. This is not what you want. I know the people of Arizona. You don't want it. A Democrat victory in November would be a bright, flashing invitation to every trafficker, smuggler, drug dealer, and illegal alien on the planet. Come on in, folks. A Republican victory would send the message that America will enforce our borders and defend our citizens. It's important. This is your choice in November. This is your real choice. I don't think you have a choice, but what am I? How can I say that? You're supposed to vote. I don't think you have a choice, okay? I know the people in this room too well. Democrats believe illegal border crossers should be immediately set free. Republicans believe illegal border crossers should be immediately sent home, or if they're criminals, put in jail. Democrats believe our country should be a giant sanctuary city for criminal aliens. They want it to be a big, fat, beautiful sanctuary city, the whole country, for criminal aliens. Republicans believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans. Democrats believe American taxpayers should provide free welfare to illegals. That's wonderful. How about California? They owe $2 trillion. They owe more money than any place has ever even dreamt of. And now they have a man running for governor who wants to actually let the entire world pour into his state, give them free welfare, free education, free licenses, free everything. And they have no money. And they have no money, and they owe a fortune. Other than that, it's a great idea. Republicans believe welfare should be protected for truly needy Americans that need it. If you want to save your country, if you want to protect your family, if you want to defend American laws, the borders, the sovereignty, the dignity, then you must vote for Martha and vote for Republican on November 6th or before. This election is also about prosperity. In less than 2 years, we have created over 4.2 million new jobs and lifted over 4 million Americans off of food stamps. Think of that. Hispanic American household income is at an all-time high. Who is a Hispanic American in this room? 10%. It's all right. Do you like Trump? It's always dangerous. Always dangerous. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Hispanic American poverty has reached an all-time historic low. Hispanic American unemployment has reached its lowest rate ever recorded in history. African American and Asian American unemployment have reached their lowest rates ever recorded in the history of our country. And women's unemployment at 3.6% is the lowest it's been in 65 years. Every day we are living by our motto, promises made, promises kept. And some of the fake news, and they know, they say that I made promises and I actually kept more promises than I made. I think we've done more than we've even said. And we're not finished. We're not finished yet. We're not finished. 2 weeks ago, I announced that we are replacing the horrible, disgusting, terrible, terrible NAFTA deal with an incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. The USMCA, all done. Great deal. Got to be approved by Congress, but even the Democrats like it. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Chuck Schumer actually said really good things about it. Can you believe it? It'll be approved pretty quickly, and that it opens up Canada and Mexico to the farmers and to manufacturers. It's a great thing for hopefully all three countries, but this is going to be a great deal. NAFTA was a disaster. We've taken the toughest ever action to crack down on China's highly abusive trade practices. And we're winning. We're winning. And Republicans passed the biggest package of tax cuts and tax reforms in American history, including ANWR in Alaska. They couldn't get it past the biggest site drilling, biggest site just about in the world, And President Reagan really tried, great guy, couldn't get it done. President Bush, all of them. And I got it done. I got it done. Alaska. The people in Alaska like me. Well, my grandfather spent a lot of time in Alaska. He was looking for gold. Wasn't so easy to find, but he was looking. We also passed Veterans' Choice for our great, great, great people, giving our veterans the right to see a private doctor, and the landmark VA accountability law to ensure anyone who mistreats or hurts our veterans in any way is accountable. We look at them and we say, Jim, sorry to do this, you're fired. Get your ass out of here. Couldn't fire him. You couldn't fire him. We were stuck. We secured $700 billion, and then next year, $716 billion to fully rebuild our great American military. And our military will very shortly be far stronger, far more powerful, modern, the best in the world, and also its jobs. Now, when it comes to the military, I don't care about the job so much. I want the strong military. But as a secondary benefit, every ounce of it is built in the United States, and we make the best planes and the best ships and the best rockets and missiles. We make the best stuff. So it's a lot of jobs. And we will soon have far and away the strongest military that we've ever had. And hopefully, you know what? It'll be so strong and so powerful that we won't have to use it, okay? If it wasn't powerful, we probably would have to use it. That's the way life works. At my direction, the Pentagon is now working to create a sixth branch of the American Armed Forces called the Space Force. Very serious. Very serious. I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. And you remember a day before I came into office, it looked like Iran was just going to take over the Middle East. There was no stopping them. Guess what? They're struggling right now. They're really struggling. They're having riots every weekend. They are struggling right now. They are having a hard time. And we've recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Together, we have made extraordinary progress. The progress that we've made is, I think, unparalleled, certainly for the first 2 years. And, you know, we're still quite a bit short. We have a ways to go. January 20th. We have a ways to go. But nobody has done more than we've done in the first 2 years, and not even close. And we're just getting started. If you vote to elect a Republican House and a Republican Senate, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut your regulations, and raise your incomes. We will protect Medicare and Social Security. And Democrats will destroy them both, and you know it. We will continue to confirm judges who interpret our Constitution as written. We will secure the border. We will pass Kate's Law. We will end sanctuary cities. Stop catch and release, visa lottery, chain migration out. And we will keep the criminals, drug dealers, and terrorists the hell out of our country. We will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. For years you watched as your leaders apologized for America, right? Remember? Remember the bowing? All the bowing. People forget about the bowing. I remember. I didn't like it. All the bowing. Now you have a president who is standing up for America. We're standing up for your values. We're standing up for the people of Arizona. We are proudly standing up for our great national anthem. But to continue this incredible momentum, to defend your state and your country, I need you to get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, and get out and vote for Martha McSally. November 6th is the latest, but vote early. Martha's a courageous fighter. She's the person you need in Washington. You will be so proud of her. She loves this state so much. You will be so proud of her. A vote, thank you. She said, I'm proud of you too. A vote, that's right. People always said, oh, this is going to be an easy job. Nothing easy about it, folks. That's nothing easy. But we love it. You know why we love it? They just asked me recently, do you like it? It's hard. I said, it's only hard because I choose to work 24 hours a day. I could make it easy. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. But you know why I love it? Because we are accomplishing so much far greater than anybody ever thought, including them. And they give us credit for it. They happen. They happen. A vote for a Republican Congress is a vote for more jobs, more wealth, and more products made right here in the USA. That's what we want. Remember? It's a vote to respect our laws and respect the heroes of law enforcement. And a vote for Republicans is a vote to reject the Democrat politics of hatred, anger, and division, and to celebrate the greatness and the glory of being an American. And it is. It's great. And it's glorious. Loyal citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country, returning power to you, the American people, and that's happening. From Phoenix to Flagstaff, from Mesa to Yuma, to the Red Rocks of Sedona, this great state was settled by some of the toughest men and toughest and most beautiful women ever to walk the face of the earth. Now they're going to say tomorrow, he called women beautiful. Isn't that terrible? It'll be, Trump calls women beautiful. You're beautiful. You are beautiful. Beautiful. You always were, and you always will be. That is funny. I'm thinking, I'm just watching them say, I think we got him. I think we got him. I think we got him. You're beautiful. Arizona is where Wyatt Earp became a legend, where the American West became the American dream, and where generations of farmers, ranchers, pioneers, and soldiers used their own two hands to build a life and to build a home. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of luxury. But they all had one thing in common. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. These courageous Arizona patriots did not shed their blood, sweat, and tears so that we could sit at home while others tried to erase their legacy and destroy our proud American heritage. For the sake of our freedom and for the sake of our children, we are going to work, we are going to fight, and we are going to win, win, win. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever, ever back down. We will never surrender. And we will always fight on to victory. Always. because we are American and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the proud people of Arizona, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you. Thank you.
At a campaign rally to endorse Republican Senate candidate Martha McSally, and of course a very energetic, a very enthusiastic and engaged crowd there of thousands of Arizona Republicans here in the Valley. Now the president spoke first, speaking about tax cuts, boasting about the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh, encouraging voters to get out there, vote early, and vote for Martha McSally, saying Sinema was, quote, a dangerous vote. And then later on, he invited Martha McSally up. She had a few remarks for a few moments, and then President went back to the podium to finish up his campaign speech.
And the president gave shout outs to the other Congress members who are up for re-election. And then, of course, the prime moment of the night, introducing Martha McSally. We heard her speak. Her speech fairly short, to the point, but she really hit on those issues that she has on the campaign trail the last few weeks, really trying to draw a contrast between herself and Kyrsten Sinema. The president there, in the second speech he gave, kind of bookending the night, also said this, which I thought was, summed up a lot of what his message was tonight. If you want to save your country, if you want to save your family, if you want to protect our laws, you want to vote for Martha McSally and the Republicans on the ticket. Making this feel like this is a moment of desperation almost with that word, save. The risks are high if you ask the supporters of President Trump. And that's why he says it's so important to elect people who will continue to support his agenda.
Yeah, he said Martha McSally was a true American patriot, that she was tough and that she was smart. And then, of course, taking lots of jabs at the Democrats. There was a lot there. He called them the party of crime. That is a quote from him. He said that the Democrats will destroy Medicare. And of course, you had a lot of those passion lines that, we hear at these rallies, the crooked Hillary, we still heard that, the lock her up. We heard those chants there. Again, that crowd very engaged, just like what we see a lot of his campaign rallies.
And on that note, now we want to bring in two-term Democrat Congressman Ruben Gallego. We're going to talk to you in a moment about your reaction to what we heard. Okay. Of course, though, Kyrsten Sinema is on the opposite ticket, and we want to play a soundbite from her first, from earlier.
Well, our reaction is to keep doing the work that we do. And as everyone knows, our campaign has been laser focused on doing the work that matters most to Arizonans. Well, it's what you see right here. I'm traveling the state, visiting campaign offices with my friends, with supporters, every single day, and we are bringing up grassroots activists, folks who are energized and excited. I've never seen anything like this in our state. Arizonans tell me as I travel the state that they care about health care. They want to make sure that they've got access to affordable care, and they don't want the federal government to take away their protections for pre-existing conditions. That's number one. And that's what I'll continue to talk about regardless of what else is happening, because that's what Arizonans worry about day in and day out. Arizonans don't care about big fancy names from outside. What they care about is what matters in their own lives. So they're worried about healthcare, education, and whether or not they've got a secure future for their kids. And the difference couldn't be more clear. I'm focused on making sure that Arizonans have access to affordable, accessible care. Martha's voted to take those protections away. And as we know, just this week, Mitch McConnell said he's going to take away Medicare and Social Security benefits. Those are the questions that voters ask me on the campaign trail. And what I would say to Arizonans is think about who shares your values and who's standing up for the issues that matter most to you and to your family, and who can you trust to protect your health care, your education, and your family's security.
And we did request to talk to Congresswoman Sinema to react directly to this speech at this moment. Her campaign declined that request. But I want to go to you now, Democrat Congressman Gallego. Your thoughts off the bat.
Off the bat, it's, again, this is typical President Trump, very divisive, all over the place, spewing lies, and then also very supportive of Martha McSally. I've known her for many years as this moderate person that you could talk to. She looked quite unhinged today. And then even more disappointed that she can't even get the name of the police officer correct, which kind of shows that she's mostly using this immigration issue as a wedge issue, not necessarily that she actually cares about these police officers. The police officer's name is not Brian Mendoza, it's Brandon Mendoza. And for those that have known him and do know him, this is a very hurtful thing that she did. And the fact that she just brought it up in a campaign speech and just threw that out there and got it wrong, I think kind of shows how serious she is about the issue. For her, it's just a wedge issue. It's not a personal issue like she tried to claim it is.
Yeah, we saw some chatter online too about that. People feeling like it was turned into something political.
She certainly at least should apologize to his family and to the Mesa police officers that were in that room protecting her, that probably heard that and were very hurt by it.
Yeah. The president tonight taking a lot of jabs at the Democrats. You are a Democrat. He said, quote, the Democrats are the party of crime. What do you say to that?
Well, I think that's pretty funny considering that how many people that are surrounding this president have been indicted or are currently in the process of being indicted. How many members of his cabinet have had to resign so far because of different scandals. In addition to the fact that we know that he himself has been involved with different types of elements in terms of people in the criminal world. More importantly, people just don't want to hear this type of rhetoric. Right now, the focus, most people that we talk to, they're worried about health care. And I think the biggest problem that the president said right now is he outright lied and said that we're not going to take away people's pre-existing conditions. His bill did that. Martha McSally voted for that bill. And if he has his way, they're going to, again, and the Republicans should take power again over the House and the Senate, they're going to try to pass the same bill they passed last time and again take away pre-existing conditions. And that in the end is why he needs to talk about all this other stuff, because his bill was a horrible bill that would have actually taken away health care away from millions of people.
Look, we heard some hyperbole, some exaggeration, slogans, which you expect to hear in campaign speeches like this.
It's his job to do that.
But the bottom line here is the president is in a strong position, the economy doing well, 4.2% growth in the last quarter, consumer confidence sky high. There's a reason why that place was jam-packed tonight. A lot of Arizonans feel like this is the path Arizona should be on and the country should be on. Why do Democrats feel like we should now turn another way compared to what you heard tonight?
Well, certainly what you do see is that the businesses are doing well, but it's not trickling down at all. People's wages aren't getting any higher. People's mortgages are getting more expensive. People's rents are getting more expensive. Everything's getting more expensive, but people's wages are not getting more expensive. At the same time, we do have to turn the corner because what we've seen so far is one of the first actions that this president did when he took power, especially when the fact that the Republicans were in charge of the House and the Senate, was they try to take away health care, right? And not just health care in terms of the Affordable Health Care Act. They actually went after Medicaid too, which is extremely important here in Arizona. And this is why at the end of the day, Senator John McCain voted against the Affordable Health Care Act, because he realized that it would end up affecting hundreds of thousands of poor working Arizonans. So the reason we need to turn the corner is because we need to protect the American voter. We need to protect our elders. We need to protect everyone we can, because the decisions they're making in Washington, D.C. are going to end up being very harmful to them.
Now, when it comes to voter turnout, what do you think the effect will be having the president come today?
Well, I think our people that are true independents are not going to look at this and make a decision one way or the other. I think they're going to look and evaluate the fact about who Kyrsten Sinema is and whoever today Martha McSally is. She keeps changing positions. But at the end of the day, they're going to decide that on their own. I think this is a question of who gets motivated out to vote. It is my opinion. I think Trump voters were always motivated out to vote, no matter what. I think this will will motivate more Democrats to come out to vote, and we have a lot of days to return ballots and to go vote, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Does Kyrsten Sinema have a loyalty problem to this country? You heard it mentioned again tonight that she made a flippant comment about go ahead, join the Taliban if you want. Now, this was a radio interview. You could say it was sarcasm, 2002, 2003. Yeah. But some people would say, look, you don't joke about those types of issues. And of course, Martha McSally has called it treason.
Well, first of all, Martha McSally is wrong. Second of all, the President of the United States has made flippant jokes like that, too. If you actually start looking back at his history. So if we're going to start taking people verbatim and not understand humor, I think we have to look at what the president has said. For example, this president made fun of Senator John McCain, said, like, I only like heroes that weren't captured. Somehow he's still a patriot, but because Sinema makes a flippant joke, she's not. It's absolutely ridiculous. Kyrsten Sinema has family that's in the military. She's been great on veterans issues. She's one of the strongest when it comes to veterans issues. And more importantly, the reason they're talking about this is because Martha McSally voted to take away pre-existing conditions from Arizonans. That is the fact. And she has nothing else to run on, so therefore she just has to scare people and really, distract people.
I saw you get really angry when the cameras weren't on.
I do about
when the president mentioned we don't bow down to other leaders.
Right.
Talking about global affairs. What is it about that comment that made you so angry? The president's saying here, look, we're a stronger America today in the world than we were under Barack Obama.
Well, because, how he's interacted with Putin, number one, I think is very disgraceful, almost really destroying our NATO alliance and, essentially, becoming close up to Putin for someone who's diametrically opposed to our world goals. Number two, how he's treating right now what's occurring in Saudi Arabia. The fact that the Saudi Arabian government assassinated a U.S. resident, a journalist, and now is actively taking part in the cover-up. Not just Saudi Arabia, this presidency, this White House is actively helping, come up with talking points and work with the cover-up with the Saudi Arabian government is ridiculous. So I think for him to throw that out there is more projection more than anything else.
All right. Now, you've known Kyrsten Sinema for a long time.
Proud to call her friend, yeah.
Right? You guys are talking at this point kind of on a daily basis. The president called her an extremist. Now, you know her voting record. You know how she feels on the issues. What do you say in response to that?
She is not an extremist. Look, Kyrsten gets it from both sides, that, and you're doing politics well when both sides are telling you you're not doing it correctly, right? She is thoughtful. She really listens to the constituents. She, votes, I think, with her conscience and with her district. Now, if you look at our records, I'm a little more to the left than her, but I know what she's doing. She's doing it for what she believes truly is in the heart and the best interest of Arizona.
Okay, Congressman Gallego, we appreciate your perspective on this.
Thank you.
We want to send it now to Bram and Mark, who were there at that rally, to give us a look at what's on the ground. Hey, guys.
Hi, Joe. This was supposed to be, and it probably was primarily, a campaign stop for Martha McSally as the president makes his way with just 18 days to go around the country, trying to make sure that the Republicans maintain control. And his message tonight was, look, if you like what's happening under my administration, let's maintain the status quo, read between the lines, make sure that you put Republicans back in the Senate and put Republicans back in Congress.
So I said earlier, Donald Trump was here today to be Martha McSally's closer. People are voting right now. They're concerned about Republicans not turning out. For the first 20 minutes, he did a fairly effective job as the closer, talking about jobs, talking about Kavanaugh. Not too much on immigration, just focused. Martha McSally spoke. Donald Trump bookended it, saying, vote for Martha McSally. This will be the second greatest vote you ever make.
Yeah.
The first one, of course.
Saying I was the greatest.
I was the first.
Yeah.
The rest of it, 30 minutes was just kind of a hash of what we've heard Donald Trump say before. Interesting things, some things not so factual. But the first 20 minutes, I thought he did as well as he could have done to help Martha McSally in this race.
And look, no matter how you vote, when you talk to Americans, Republican or Democrat or independent, about their pocketbooks, about how they're doing, he used the word prosperity quite a bit. That hammers home a message. He says, look, this is what I've done. He came here to paint a stark contrast in what was happening before he took office and what's happening now.
And Martha McSally got the biggest stage of her campaign, aside from the debate, here broadcast in the Phoenix area around Arizona. We will have to see if she gets a bump out of this.
Yeah, she's in a very tight race with Representative Kyrsten Sinema. The next 18 days will tell. We'll be able to find out what this did for her, if this is... Some people believe that a presidential appearance can be kryptonite for a candidate, especially for moderate Republicans or Republicans who aren't quite sure which way to go. And other people believe that he, as you said, can be the closer and put her over the top.
And think about how Republican women or independent women heard this speech. They are the deciders.
All right, that'll do it for our coverage from here at the presidential rally in Mesa. On behalf of Bram and the rest of the Team 12, thanks for watching, and we'll be back on tonight at 10 with a complete wrap-up of this political day, a big political day in Arizona.
Lying, disingenuous, an actress who puts on a face. This is the real Martha McSally. She told us she'd protect our Medicare, but she didn't. She voted to essentially end Medicare. She